What is going on, YouTube? PPS here. Play of the day. Time to go. 2 spots, 1 college, 1 NBA. Yeah, yesterday was kind of gross, man. Man, that was gross. Scotty Barnes was absolutely cooking those boys. And then you know how it goes when you play Washington. It was an 8-point spread. I don't want to say I expected it, but when it was that close early on, I'm like, there's no way they stay this close. And when they pulled Barnes, they had like a 12-2 run, which really kind of put it up there. They brought Barnes back in. He ended up grabbing 2 rebounds and ended up getting hooked at 32. He had 20 and 12 and 8 assists. Should have just went with the PRA, but it happens. It happens. Definitely liked that spot. Looking back on it, should have just added the assist on that line. I think it would have been like 39.5, so he would have just beat it by the hook. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So ending up moving us down to 10 and 8 NBA, 21 and 10, 10.9 units on college basketball. Let's start out with NBA today. I'm going to go to Miles Bridges today. This is going to be both on FanDuel. I'm going to pull I'll pull up DraftKings since it's the same lines, even though it is, I think, these will be the 2 spots. But it is minus 115 for both of these on FanDuel right now. Miles Bridges has actually been really, really good, guys. I know it's not really a guy that everybody's looking at. It's not a name that everybody wants to go to in the betting props market, but man, this dude has been an absolute wagon as of late. This dude is just finding a way to get the job done. Over his last 5 games, this dude's averaging almost 14 and a half rebounding chances in a game where AD's in this spot. Nick Richards is going to have a tough time with AD down there. I think Miles Bridges is going to be that guy, right? The Lakers allow the 5th most threes per game to teams so far this year. They're allowing almost 14 threes per game, which is awesome, seeing as I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but the volume for this dude is nuts. He's had over 10 3-point attempts the last 2 games. Not shooting great, but 3 for 10, 2 for 12, 23 shot attempts in both. This is pretty much Miles Bridges, Terry Rozier show right now. You just got to roll with him until LaMelo comes back, really, because this dude is, even against the Clippers, they're tougher matchup, slower matchup. We've seen a big flip in terms of Gordon Hayward not playing much, only a 20-minute spot last time. You got PJ Washington coming in, who's good. Don't get me wrong, I like him, but he's gonna be playing that 25 to 27-minute role. Miles Bridges will play 38 minutes in this game if they can keep it close. And what I do like is these guys are playing very, very well. Not in terms of winning games, but they are keeping these games close, right? Good Clippers team in LA, lose by 9. Good Denver team, obviously, just won the championship, lost by 7. They got blown out by Indiana, but that's obviously tough, and blown out by Philly. But they just don't have the personnel to match up with that. And in that Indiana game, they just started out way behind, and they couldn't do anything to come back. So with these games being a little bit slower, I think we get a good spot here for Miles Bridges in these Hornets to keep this game close. If we get this bottom 3 volume, we love that. But Miles Bridges grabbing boards like crazy, double-double in 3 of his last 5, and at least 5 rebounds in every single game, but 3 this month. Minutes are through the roof. He's averaging 36.5 minutes per game this year, or this month of December. If you take out one of the games where they lost by 50 to Philadelphia, he's actually averaging almost 38 minutes per game. So, ton of time. Going to be out there. Him and Rozier are running the show. Usage is up. Love it. And just keep grabbing those rebounds, right? Keep going. And I think Miles Bridges actually has an absolute massive day today. All right, I showed you it before. Eastern Washington, team total. over 77.5 minus 115. Really like this spot for an old wagon. This isn't the wagon it used to be, unfortunately, but I really like this spot. Portland State facing off against Eastern Washington. One thing I want to start this out with, Eastern Washington is playing such a hard schedule. You got to give them props because now when they come into the Big Sky, they're going to be absolutely cruising. So just according to KenPom, they have played the strength of schedule rating is number 4 in the country. They have played the accumulatively 5th best offenses, 4th best defenses. Like I said, non-conference strength of schedule is top 5 as well. So these dudes have been playing very good teams, which is something I really like to see early on in the season. Now let's take a look at Portland State. You got San Diego, Lewis and Clark, George Fox, St. Thomas, Minnesota. They lost to, who was a D3 team a couple years ago. Fresno State, Washington State. That's who they're playing. Now, I understand. You look at the record. Eastern Washington, 4-7, not great. But they're playing in their non-conference, Utah, Stanford, Ole Miss, USC, right? Washington, Cincinnati. Some tough teams, guys. And I know they're only averaging 74.5 points per game, but this team should run it up. This game should be very fast. Eastern Washington is phenomenal. 3-point shooting team, as always. That's what they're very good at. Top 20 in the country in terms of that stature. Portland State averaging 35.5% from three-point line so far this year. Obviously, that doesn't match up well with this Eastern Washington team. Eastern Washington also is going to have decent size, 2.66 guys. Ethan Price is 6'10", so we should get enough size down there. You have a good enough free throw shooting team. 2 of those guys in that starting lineup do shoot 80+% from the free throw line. But I like to look at prior years. I understand efficiency-wise, that is not what I'm looking at because a lot of these dudes have left. But let's go to last year's games with these two, right? We seen them play Portland State to a 92-80 game, right? Obviously, easily covers. 98-88 was the other one, right? Obviously, I know they had Steel Venters. I know all that. I love Steel Venters. He was an absolute beast. I loved him. But the style of play is going to be the same way. Portland State had 68 shot attempts in that game. The Eastern Washington's getting open looks, shooting 50% from 3. They didn't even shoot well from the free throw line. But this is the key, guys. 49 fouls. 49 fouls in that second game, which obviously going to get us a ton of free throws, which we like. But my God, guys, that is what you want to see, right? That is what you want to see, a good free throw shooting team in those spots, getting up against these guys. In the game that they scored 92 points, they shot 3-ball again very, very well. But again, 37 fouls, ton of offensive rebounds, and still, again, not shooting that well from free throw line. So 66% for Eastern Washington. We should have seen more points in that game. So I love Eastern Washington today. I love this team total. If you want to play the full game over, be my guest. I think that's a great spot as well. But if I'm going to pick a side that I'm more confident in, it is this Eastern Washington team that's going to have so much more room to flow in it. Again, they're very good shooting team. It's going to be a pace-up spot for Portland State. Portland State plays pretty slow, but defensively, middle of the pack, 221 in terms of adjusted tempo. We're going to see a top 75 tempo here from Eastern Washington. They're usually very good at dictating that. And I'm getting this in Eastern Washington too. Sign me up, baby. Eastern Washington team total over 77.5. Rolling with Miles Bridges over 28.5 points plus rebounds as well. Love these two spots. Lock these in, guys. We're going to bounce back. I know you guys are used to just dubs. I guess this is a mini losing streak with 2 in a row. But still, I think it's 12-4 over our last 16 plays and continuing to add on profits. So hit that like button on your way out, guys. Please hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow for Pass the Prop and YouTube.